Do you have any fake friends? Friends who act one way part of the time, but then at other times seem like completely different people? Friends who you want to believe will stick up for you and have your back no matter what, but then always seem to turn their back on you when they're around other people? If that's you, know that Jesus had friends like that too. On the night that Jesus was arrested and put on trial, one of his closest friends, Peter, turned his back on Jesus. That night, 3 different times, people came up to Peter and asked him, "Hey, didn't I see you hanging out with Jesus?" And out of fear, Peter denied it each time, saying, "I don't know what you're talking about." In fact, by the 3rd time this happened, Peter was so upset that people kept associating him with Jesus that the Bible tells us he began to curse and swear, saying, "I do not know the man." Now you might be thinking, if that was my friend, well, we would no longer be friends. But Jesus had a different answer. You see, just hours before, Jesus told Peter that this was going to happen. Jesus, he looked Peter dead in the eye and he said, "Peter, you are going to deny me 3 times. And yet, even knowing what Peter was going to do, Jesus still chose to go to the cross. Jesus, he knows what it's like to get let down by your friends. He knows what it's like to have friends who don't always have your back or pretend not to be your friend when they're around others. He also knows that, well, we don't always act like the best friends either. But no matter who you are or what you've done, Jesus chooses to be your friend, and he is loyal to you because he loves you. Jesus, he didn't need to wait for Peter to deny him to determine whether or not he would be Peter's friend, because he already knew what Peter was going to do. Jesus, he knows what it's like to be let down by your friends. He knows what it's like to have friends who don't always have your back or pretend not to be your friend when they're around other people. He also knows that we don't always act like the best friends either. But no matter what you're going through or what you've done, Jesus still chooses to be your friend, and he is loyal to you because he loves you. Jesus knows everything about you, and there is nothing that could ever cause him to turn his back on you. Jesus, he came into this world to be with you. He lived a perfect life free from sin and then died on a cross for your sin so that you wouldn't have to. And then he rose from the dead to prove to you that he would never leave you. Yes, it's hard when we have friends that don't always have our backs, but Jesus does, and you have a true friend in Jesus. A friend who loves you, a friend who is loyal to you, and a friend who forgives you. Amen.
Today's devotion was presented by Skylar Hepler, a seminary student at Bethany Lutheran Theological Seminary in Mankato, Minnesota. You can support Peace Devotions through your prayers and donations. Visit peacedevotions.com/donate.